Boom,
Boom,
boom, boom,
boom.
boom.
Bum, 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 bum. Matt, crazy, and I forgot, we got a holiday week here. We're smack dab in the middle of a holiday week.
We are indeed. The Memorial Weekend is here. Summer has kicked off everywhere but the Northwest. We got another month.
Yeah, Lockdown Brown, she's still fast and furiously beholden to her science.
The science
She's
of
got different science, Matt.
well, here's how it's going to play out. First, you say you got to wear a mask if you don't have ID. Well, whatever. Who's gonna? First of all, every retail and restaurant establishment needs a doorman now to check IDs. At then the minimum.
I would love to be the doorman.
And
Like at the end of the shift, the manager is like, "Did you ask everybody for their ID?" Oh yeah. I'd be like, "Come on in."
And what kind of but I'm just talking about coming into the furniture store, right? So you gotta have a doorman at the furniture store, which is already empty. And then so what are the requirements to be a doorman to check the ID and authenticate that said ID? All I see is a bunch of headaches, and it'll never happen. So that's easy. It'll never happen. And then, so then what they'll do is they'll come out with the digital passports, which, they'll force on everybody. You gotta have now a digital passport where you have to go to.
What just blows me away?
I guess it will be the DMV version of vaccine passports. So it'll be the vaccine.
It's never happening. This is
my point. Like if you think
it's unraveling right in front of their eyes.
It's fucking insane. It's insane. So yeah. So then you got to go to the vaccine motor vehicle department to get your vaccine ID digitally included. Good luck. And as I said, anybody that asks me for it, I'm going to ask them, can I have the entire kitchen's STD reports before I eat at your restaurant?
Well, Chef Julio, man, he gets around.
You know what I'm saying?
Chef Julio, that guy's had more,
I mean, have you worked in a restaurant?
Sink, it's a pun and an innuendo.
Like the whole restaurant is a family. They all commingle, sleep together. Have you ever worked at a restaurant? It's a freaking free for all.
Matt, let's talk about some fun coming up this summer. The match. I can't wait to watch, Matt.
Like you said, though,
Aaron Rodgers will not be a Packer at this point.
I don't know. Where's he going to go?
Well, he certainly doesn't want to be in Green Bay.
Who would want
to? Anywhere would be better than Green Bay.
Who would want to be in Green Bay?
As a Bear fan, and as a Lions fan, you should agree. Rodgers, please go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe he'll go to
Phil. You know what? I cannot.
He'll go and back up Jared Goff.
I cannot wait to see this because listen, if Barstool is doing anything right, the prop bet on every tee shot should be with and against longest drive, Mickelson or DeChambeau, because he outdrove him at the PGA, 366-yard drive with the wind, but he was leading by a couple of strokes, and it was on like 16. Like he hit the ball 366 yards down think about if that's off, like if he hits it bad. I mean, you could have double or triple with the ball that far fucking gone, right? My hat's off to Phil. Anybody 50 and over, I trust. Nobody under 50 gets my respect.
Did you see the tweet Phil had yesterday? Keep talking a little bit, but did you see the one he posted?
I did not.
So let me try to find it. But he had a tweet of him sitting at the pool with the claret, I think, or whatever they call the jug. And I think he tweeted, being cool Phil and everything. I think he said something about sitting at the pool, half lit. And he had like a jug of wine in his thing. So, anyways,
good to be the king.
Good to be.
He's the king right now.
I doubt I can find it, but
that's all right. Hey, Matt, we have a special treat today. Undercover intel that not any other show is doing, but ours. You know this, but not a lot of people know that I have a twin brother.
Right.
And he's been embedded in China.
That's right.
Because so much of the world.
Wait. So you're releasing this story now? You're okay with this?
Yeah. Twin brother, he's been embedded in China. We're going to go there right now, Matt, to China because the Central Committee is currently meeting there, and they're pretty pissed off at a few Americans. So let's go.
Oh, geez. But he's still got the HFR jacket. It's amazing.
Well, he's my identical twin. El Jefe at the Politburo in China, where only truth is told. Matt, when I saw this picture, and I got to be quiet here because Xi's about to come on stage, I immediately thought, could Hollywood put together a better background for an evil empire than they're just doing all by themselves?
Right.
It blows me away. Oh, here he comes. G. All right, everybody be quiet. G's talking.
Where's Winnie the Pooh?
The thing that you gotta love about critical race theory is how it seemingly doesn't apply in China, only in the USA. Like white people are the only privileged people on the planet, first of all. And Matt, with that, I want to share.
Nor does it exist in Japan either, right?
Oh no. Only white people are critically racial.
Right.
Because this was the news item, and I don't know if anybody saw this. And I'm going to give this guy a break here. John Cena from the Fast and Furious 9 said, you know what? Maybe I should leave the Politburo. He said that Taiwan is a country, and you would have thought that he said that he banged Xi's daughter and was not going to be the father to the child. I mean, because the fury was so fast and furious, no pun intended. And he had to suck ass so hard and apologize for calling Taiwan a country, because obviously it's not a country, because China is the only thing that it could be, a part of China.
And was that Cantonese or Mandarin, the apology that he gave? Do you know?
It was actually the Guangdong, which is the peasants.
Okay.
It's a whole different thing.
That's it.
My question is, I'm going to throw some slack here. What do you think Fast and the Furious 9 is going to bank in China? Like, if he didn't say, I'm sorry.
9 bazillion.
Right? I can't even put a number on, like, the Fast and the Furious 9.
I can give you a absolute 9x absolute that I will not see Fast and Furious 9, nor have I seen 1 through 8. So...
oh, come on. You had to see the original. It wasn't 1. It was just Fast and Furious.
I've never seen it.
Come on. It's actually not bad.
Never
seen it. I need to parenthesize that.
Never seen it.
I don't know, Matt. Let's move on. We need to move on. I saw this, Matt. Billy Joel. Did you know? And by the way, I think this is the first thing I've ever shared from a LinkedIn link. Billy Joel never sells tickets to the front row of his concerts. Aside from wanting to beat the scalpers, he got tired of all the bored rich people staring up at him, half dead probably. And he sends his road crew out to the fucking nosebleed seats and brings people down to the front row. Awesome.
I think everybody should do that. I think they should do that at every concert. You should get the guys that are, kind of have a crew of people that is looking for a profile of fan, and you go out pre-game, you go out maybe during the warm-up and see who is the most active and pumped up fans, and you yank them out and you put them up there, because I agree with it. It's racist to have all the white rich people up front also. So
man, I saw this and I don't know where I've been all my life not knowing that in Japan they had several releases this morning, but one of them, the first one, was the coincident indicator. Like we've been saying for our whole time here on the show, that we live in the age of ambiguity. They live in the age of is it ambiguous or is it a coincidence?
As my grandmother Catherine would say, the quinky dink factor.
The quinky dink factor, man. And let me share again, because the quinky dink around Corona and the jab is like, you cannot say anything negative about getting the jab. But then this one, John Hopkins prof. And I love it when it's John Hopkins prof, because that's an arm of the Gates Foundation. No, Like, so their own now are bailing on the Politburo and the Chinese Communist Party's storyline.
They have to separate themselves because otherwise they're going to be brought down with the whole complex as it gets crumbled. So that's
half of Americans have natural immunity. Dismissing it is a big failure of medical leadership to say that everybody needs to be vaccinated. Please stop with the fucking talk about everybody needs to be vaccinated. And
I like to stick to the facts. It's not a vaccine. It's not been approved by the FDA, and it will continue to be tested on humans through 2023. The average age of death with COVID is 78. The average age of death in the United States, period, is 78. These are the facts.
This is the other one too that everybody wants to say, but look what happened in India. Look, and this article from Zero Hedge about India's Hunger Games really points to the exact picture of why you don't want government involved, because basically the whole failure in India has been a centralized, really to one guy, government response to this pandemic. Yeah. Like, if you think the government's going to be better at anything than the private sector, I don't know. Maybe I'm lost, Matt, but
you can ask your liberal associates, Bob, that question, because that's the question I always ask. Are you better off with the government, deciding what you should eat for dinner? Are you better off with the government deciding what shoes you should wear? Are you better off deciding which underwear the government decides you want to eat? You like cotton, they like polyester. It's cheaper to make. I'm just saying, what do you want?
And then, Matt, the last one before we get to some real price discovery on a boring week here. We're going to talk price discovery, God damn it, because it's the only thing that matters. Price is the only thing that matters. And this Josh Rogan shared, Deneen Borelli retweeted, and I'm sharing here on the show with the possible exceptions of things like box scores, race results, and stock market tabulations. There is no such thing as objective journalism. The phrase itself is a pompous contradiction in terms. Hunter S. Thompson, thank you so much for. I mean, the guy said this had to be 50 years ago when he wrote this. Right?
I don't know. Fear and Loathing.
I bet it was sometime in the Nixon years.
Yeah, Fear and Loathing, I'd say, is late 60s, early 70s. I read it. Great book. I love it.
Objective journalism.
There was a kid. Anyway, there was a kid on my youngest lacrosse team this year. His name was Hunter Thompson, so I was a big fan. He never played, but he was always high. I was a big fan of him.
Matt, let's talk prices. The stock market, a slow week, a quiet market. I think we got another rally coming here for me. There's an old saying from the floor, Matt: never sell a quiet market. And it for sure has been quiet here. We're just kind of hanging around here.
Yeah, never short a dull.
They want to push to new highs.
Short a dull market, and especially a dull market into a holiday weekend, which basically becomes 2 holiday weeks in a row. I was saying this to you before we come on air. When you have Memorial, basically after Wednesday, you're done. So that's today, and we happen to have the month end also on Monday. So we're getting to that T+2, 3, depending on when your fund closes its books. It's either today or tomorrow. So we're wrapping up a month. It's not a quarter, so it's not triple witching, but we've got OPEX coming on, through the end of the week, month ends. Monday, we got Friday and Monday, expirations. Monday's a holiday. So this is the problem. So the last trading day is really Friday. And, so it makes everything exaggerated and compressed or super boring. And it looks to me like we're going to kind of go with the super slow version of it, unless, some skirmish or something again breaks out, which is why you hang around, but you loosely hang around because there's not a lot fresh going on. There's not a lot of new price discovery. Bitcoin, everybody got excited because it ran to 40,041, but it's not holding. And
it sure isn't. And I was talking to my brother today about it, and I got no problem jumping back in. I have assets deployed in crypto exchanges, right? But it's got to tell me the story. It's got to tell my technical story. Yours is different. You trade it differently. That's fine. And again, back to the Hunter S. Thompson quote, like, the price is the only thing that matters, and the way that you read the price, i.e., do you want to get into the market? Do you want to be long or short? What are you going to risk, and what are you looking to make? Those are the only important metrics, and that's only objective to you. And it's not a journalist piece. It's a fucking, this is the real world, and these are real dollars and cents at play. Matt,
go ahead.
Hot on the topics right now about this exact thing, and I've been having people tweet to me how GameStop's going to 750 for sure. Right. It's very reminiscent of
going to 1,000 again.
Of the crypto talk, and that's fine, because right now there's actually price discovery going on. There are winners and losers in real time, and you get to make your decision about it. And it's not journalism; it's fucking profit and loss.
Since we've come on air, Bob, when we were pre-gaming here, GameStop was up $7 more, so it's already come off $7 in the last 7 minutes before we started the show. So I don't know what that means, but I guess there's more sellers going on right now. But let me just bring up a chart real quick. And this is, I've got a longer term chart that I'll start with, kind of when all the fun began last January of this year. And I drew for all the trend people that like trend lines, which I don't, I drew the high, the second high. Oh, and we've, so we got two lines, but we broke out. But you could also draw a trend line, whatever this high is, right? This is the problem with trend lines. Maybe this is the second line now. I don't know. So now you got fans, right? You got these fans of trend lines. It's again why I don't use them, and I find them to be silly. But I threw them on here just to probably
it's a clean breakout, Matt. It's a clean breakout. I'll talk some fan
I
lines
did it to
for you.
show everybody how smart they are. Clean breakout, exactly. But to me, again, I don't. I still stare at this. I still stare at this and go, okay. And so the news, Bob, you want to share with us what the big news was?
Yeah. Well, first of all, for sure, there's been a big short accumulation. And let me just share my chart first. And my problem with this being a runaway to 1,000 is this weekly in the standard deviation analysis. It's going to run into a wall there up around 270. Even if it starts kicking up 280, there's going to be bigger hands that show up at that exhaustion level for sure. Now, are the shorts that are in it so weak right now that they're going to puke and push it to there? I don't know. Is the big whale going to show up there and put on that short to stop it? How much leverage is being deployed on both sides? Is it part of the equation? But for sure, this is what started the whole euphoria, right? And GameStop. And by the way, we talked about how the pump has actually given the GameStop people, right, a war chest, right? And so they've decided to deploy some of their war chest into the NFT game space and NFT market. All right. And I know you roll your eyes and not everybody can see that eye roll that just happened because my beautiful mug is the only thing being portrayed right now out to the Twitter sphere. They're not the first to the NFT market for sure. And it seems to be very niche-y, like game NFT. I mean, gaming is a giant market. Don't get me wrong. So the GameStop, this is their little graphic put together by the good kids over at Summit High School because the graphics are brutal. I mean, seriously, with your war chest, please tell me you could have done it. I actually have to, with my mouse, get the graphic to work. Like it doesn't work on its own. You tell me.
Again,
power to the players, power to the creators, power to the collectors. And this is more important to me long term. We are building a team. So they don't even have the team yet together to build out the supposed infrastructure that will build an NFT platform that people can eventually invest, buy and sell, trade NFTs. I don't know, man. It seems like it's a long runway, and I'm not very impressed with the graphics to begin with for their venture into NFTs. But this is the story behind the GameStop pump. They should just leave it here. They should have just left it here, power to, and let everybody just guess what the
Again,
power.
Bob, this makes me, harkens back to the late 90s when paintball.com was a publicly traded company and it went from whatever 2 cents to $100. I mean, it's literally the same shit. It's like I don't get how you can't look at this and almost throw up your breakfast and go, what? I want to invest long term into this idea. Well, no, it's just it's another dead cat bounce. So good for hopefully the insiders are dumping their shares, Bob, because it's not going to last. I'm sorry.
They're building a team, though, Matt. They're building a team.
And they can come to, I think their next release should involve something with Doge too, because they're building a team too, and they can team build together. I think.
You know what? Let's go back to that, because I honestly think that where Elon Musk was incredibly disingenuous, talking about how, he tweeted how he's been talking with the Doge developers, like he's been interacting, like there is a team and they're working on something, and nothing has been worked on. There's been no development. Like, what a shill thing to say. I don't know. There's sometimes where the pet rock space, I am fully both feet in the camp that it's going to be a long-term success. And then there's other times where.
Here, let me come back. I was thinking, let me come back to GameStop. And I had a Fibonacci from the high, but it's not really fair because I did it from the last high. And here's what's interesting. Like the cyclical nature of this thing is playing out way too slowly. This thing, I can't believe it's still alive 5 months later. I really can't. I mean, I honestly can't believe people are holding this stock thinking thinking it's going to 750. Big deal. It's a 3x. For God's sake, just throw your money into a tenth of a penny crypto. You have a better chance. I mean, it's just silly. There's nothing going on here. I mean, all this hype and news. So this is why the stock was running, and today is the final thing. Like, if they've released all this and the earnings came out, it's its ranges have increased again, but nothing like it was before. So again, when you see this momentum, this is like the average range. We used to be 30 points in a day. Now we're averaging 8 points in a day, $8 in a day. So again, you and look at this volume, Bob. No, it's dead. I mean, I can't be any more clear about this. Nobody is fucking trading this. There is no big money in it, just like there's no big money in crypto. You don't fall 50% in a week if there's big money in it. It just doesn't happen. So it's fast money for sure. It's fast and furious money for sure, Bob. The 61.8 is right here at 258. We kind of got close to it. We got to 248. This may be it. We may have 1 or 2 more days and poof. I mean, but this thing, again, you come back to the picture, Bob, it's been going up. This news was leaked, very well leaked, because this thing bottomed, back here March 21st, and it's been doing nothing. And now all of a sudden it just, grinds up here, back here. So we're back to March prices, but it doesn't even look like we're going to get over 258 to me. So don't overthink this. I mean, it's just, again, short-term. Okay. We're overbought, no volume, no real, real money is not in this. It's all, so now you basically have a plaything with, you're playing musical chairs with all the dumbest kids in the block. The kids that you didn't want to invite to the party, but their mom weaseled their kids into the party. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, do I love the don't bet. Don't money. It's like, the craps table would be way better if the don't money got to talk. Like that's why a craps game.
Actually, I love going to being the guy not.
Oh, I know you play the don't, man.
And just sliding the money into my pocket. Absolutely, sliding the money into my pocket. And then when I roll, fuck, we're hitting the numbers though.
All right, one last thing here, Matt. I just want to know. Now that the docs at Johns Hopkins are saying you've had it, you don't need a vax, you got antibodies, half the country, will this president, this is what I find amazing. They run a narrative fucking into the ground until they crash and burn with it.
They
And
don't
it's
have.
amazing to me to see.
That's also why they make shitty traders, because they don't have contingency plans, Bob.
It just amazes me to see the disparity in the country on everything that has to do with this fucking thing.
If you go outside and turn off all the fucking media, it's over. It's seriously, just go outside, take off your mask, don't turn on the shit anymore, don't pay for the advertising. It's over, because it is over. The whole thing was over. The whole thing was about getting you to watch the regurged BS over and over, and these fake celebrities pitching it. I mean, fucking even LeBron won't even answer the question yesterday. Are you vaccinated? You know, why should he? I wouldn't answer it either. I'd be like, we're all good here. You don't need to know anything. It's none of your business.
You know,
Again,
and the other one that
show me your STD papers, you cheerleaders on the Lakers, please, because I don't want you near me.
In fact, I saw a great tweet that said the unvaxxed section now is the VIP section, because you got a lot of room. You can spread out. There's nobody within 6 feet. People used to pay top dollar to be in that VIP
It's probably
section.
not working well for their ticket sales. So I got to sit in the vax section. I mean, or why don't we just call it the Scarlet Letter section? You know, this. You know, seriously, like the whole place is going to be.
Where's I have my NV tattoo for my forehead. I'm ready to go out. All right, Matt. Slow holiday week.
Bob, I'm just walking around. I'm walking around with magnets super glued to my body. That's my way of saying I have the vax.
I got to tell you, the thing that I hate the most about today's environment is ball busting is at an all-time low, and everybody takes everything too fucking seriously.
How about the city?
I don't know how we got here.
How about the city? The city in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, yesterday came out and basically said that we identify as vaccinated people, so we're going to go on. We identify as. I love that one, by the way. I'm also using that when I apply to colleges. I identify as a vaxxed person, so I have the antibodies, and I would like to be granted dismissal, please.
Matt, well, I identify as a great quarterback, and so I don't know why I'm not in this match on July 6th. Anyway, Matt, you have a great day. Please join us at marketvitals.io. Please retweet. Do not like this. Do not like this, whatever you do. Do not like this episode. Retweet it, share the podcast. Thanks so much, Matt. Listen, trading is all about creating a system that is strictly yours. Back to Hunter S. Thompson. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is price. Trading is not journalism, Matt. It's not. It's a win or lose game. That's all there is to it. And that's what we aim to provide each other in the network at marketvitals.io, in our club. Honest dialogue, people that are not willing to piss down your back and tell you it's raining. That's it. That's our moniker. And I wonder why we can't get any sponsors, but that's the truth. Like, the truth has no sponsorship anymore. I don't know, Matt. I'm rambling. You have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow for another segment of Market Vitals.
All right, Bobby.